India, China, there's a lot of animosity those two countries have for each other, okay? And it's very obvious. India is the only one that publicly banned 100 apps from China in India, okay? TikTok being one of them. India is, I think, taking 25% of Apple's iPhone being made over there. Tim Cook decided to move 25% over there. I want to say it's 25% or it's going to be 25%, but they're moving a lot of the manufacturing over to India. India's starting to produce the best engineers. I've been doing this for a while with their school, IIT Institute, which some people say schools, MIT Institute. Great. I've been there. It's an incredible setup that they have. It's on a whole different level. People keep hiring Indian engineers, and they're fantastic on what they're doing.
Yes.
The reputation that they've had over the years on business is gradually changing. 30 years ago, 40 years ago, 20 years ago, 10 years ago, it's changing where trust is going higher around the world. Modi is a pro-capitalism, supporter, on what he's done. Obviously, he's not a perfect leader. He's got his own flaws like everybody else does, but he's done some great work in a country with 44 different political parties. I don't know what the number is, but I think it's 44, give or take, political parties. He's done a good job on bringing them to where they're at right now. What do you think of China? What do you think of India? How important of a role India is to keeping the world not relying on 100% of China, where China can impose themselves on everybody else. And the only reason I brought up India and China is because you worked in those.
Yes, I worked on India. I did not work on China, but obviously I watch it. I think we have to deal with both. I'm a believer in typically an engagement, not because I think it's soft, but because I think if you don't want to use military power and you say you don't want to talk to somebody, where do you end up? Like I would say, you got to engage with the Iranians. You have to do it because the alternative is say we walk away from the table and we have no capability to influence the outcome. Well, you like Iran. You want to support the government. That's not what I said. I said here's you got a few options. So I look at China, which we can talk about in a moment, and I say I think engagement and also understanding of what the trajectory is in the 21st century. Realistically, if you look at population growth, economic growth, ability to plan decades in advance, ability to overlook when you're China and looking at Africa and elsewhere, they don't care about human rights. We're just going to invest. We don't do that in this country in America. I think we have to figure out a way to deal with China because if you want to say we're going to compete with them over Taiwan in 2035, I'm going to say, okay, let's play that game. I want to see it gamed on paper how we're going to do that. And I want to make sure that the American people are going to support going across the Pacific to do that. So China's a different case, obviously, than India. I think I completely agree on India. When I used to work on India, in terms of economic regulations, in terms of global engagement, in terms of politics and diplomacy, I thought huge country, huge potential, as you say, educational capabilities at the upper 1%.
Young, 28 years old, average age. Yeah.
Incredible intellectual talent. Investment also in hard stuff like engineering and the sciences. I think engagement economically makes sense. Politically, in terms of things like countering China, I look at the attitude of India on issues like populism and human rights in the country, religious diversity. Boy, I'd be cautious. I would be cautious about getting too close in terms of seeing them as a natural partner because I think Modi—
This is who?
India. I think Modi does not see the world in the way we do in terms of what he sees for the future. That's a Hindu country. It's not a multi-ethnic country for him, I think. And that's going to cause, if you look at the history of violence, ethnic and religious violence in India, I would not have high hopes about stability in that country over the long term.
Really?
I'm not talking about revolution. I'm just talking about stuff the government does where Americans in Congress and elsewhere cringe and say, wow, we don't want to be in bed with those people. Man, that country has a history of—
Who do you fear more, them or China, long term?
China.
Okay.
I wouldn't say fear. I would say if we think we can confront—
Formidable enemy.
Yes, that's exactly right. That's how. Yeah, that's right. Just again, population growth, economic growth, ability to plan, investment in the military, and geography. If you look at access to the Pacific, obviously, into Taiwan, we keep thinking, we will defend Taiwan. Good luck. Good luck. And tell the Americans that we're going to do that over the course of time with the military and economics and a population of that size. Good luck. The American politicians say it. I want to see it gamed out.
Yeah, I don't think there's any American fervor to go to war over Taiwan.
And Biden, once again, I think speaking.
He said it though.
Yeah, but it's like when he got out in front of Obama saying Obama supports same-sex marriage. The guy speaks before he thinks. He said that, and I'd say, have you war gamed out that in the Situation Room? Good luck, especially as the years pass and China keeps growing and keeps investing. Good luck.
81 million people voted for this guy to lead the free world, and so we have to, trust in the fact that 81 million people chose him to be the right guy to lead these types of situations, Biden. But unfortunately, every single time he says something, people who voted for him keep saying, yeah, but that's not what he meant. And he shouldn't have said that. I mean, how many times? You shouldn't have to say that every day. You should have better things to do in your life than say he shouldn't have said that. You know what I mean? It's a little bit of a challenge when you have to keep defending the person that you supported.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.